This is the all-new Nissan LEAF. I think it looks fantastic. It's got a fresh design, fresh platform, completely different to the previous model that was on sale for 15 years. I've seen this car come off the production line in Sunderland. I've driven in this car around UK roads, and now I get to take you on a little tour around the car and show you all the best bits. I think the face of it looks fantastic with these LED lights running all the way across the front. We've got illuminated Nissan badge, which looks really cool and fresh. I'm loving the colour. Matches my uniform very nicely. And we've got these LED projector headlamps, this new look to the front end. I think it just looks really fresh. And this colour, this teal colour, is one of the launch colours. I think it just looks fantastic. Really kind of retro, but modern at the same time. The whole front end has been completely new for this car. This is a new car completely. Do not confuse it with the old Nissan LEAF. This has got a battery thermal management system. It can heat the battery, cool the battery. It can recycle waste heat from the battery into the interior as well. So they've really thought about this. Nissan has really maximised this aerodynamic shape. It's got a 0.25 drag coefficient, which is really slippery, and that contributes to that increased range. We've got these brand new design. These are 19-inch alloy wheels. On the entry-level model, it'd be 18 inches standard, but this is the higher specs. It's got 19-inch wheels. We've got the charge point here. I'll show you a bit more about that in a bit of detail later in the review, but we've got CCS, which is great to see. Little 2 and a 3 icon there. We'll talk about that when we get around the back of the car as well. Moving down, we've got these stick out door handles here. These retract in when you're driving along for, again, better aero, and they pop out when you approach the car with the key. So as you come up to it, open like that. A bit like a Jaguar I-Pace or a Tesla. So really cool to see that feature on what is a family hatchback car. A lot of people think of this as, you know, they've seen photos, they assume it's an SUV like the Aria is. This is not, this is a hatchback. It's actually similar sort of size to the old outgoing LEAF, which was really useful for a lot of people. Moving to the back doors, we've got these hidden rear door handles. It gives it a sort of coupe-like shape and easy access to the rear. Moving down the back, we've got this cute little flick up at the back, like a little duck's tail, and the back of the car, I think, is a real triumph. Reminds me very much of the Nissan 300ZX from the 90s, with this Nissan text going across the back here, and the way that the lights is, oh, remember 2 and the 3? 2 and 3, these holographic segments we've got here. 2 in Japanese is Ni, 3 is San, so we've got Nissan written here. We've got it all the way around the car. You'll see it all over the place as we're doing this review. I really like the way that this car looks from the back. It looks sporty, it looks coupe-like, a little bit sort of, you know, like the updated Ford Capri, but I think more successful in this. There's no rear wiper, but because of the angle of this rear glass, we've actually got a sort of windscreen wiper effect by the air that goes over it. It's got a special coating on the glass which will keep that clear. We've got heated rear window obviously as well. We've got a shark fin antenna up top. I'm loving the back of this car. I think it looks really cool. We've got a power tailgate on the top 2 models, and under here we've got up to 437 litres of boot space. Now this boot is actually really configurable. We've got a flat floor like this. That looks initially perhaps a little bit small, but we've got loads of storage because under here we've got more space. These are a bit like we get in the Qashqai, so that means that you can stack them vertically like this, or you can slide them underneath to give you more space if you want to have a deep boot. By putting them like this, it means that if you put your shopping bags in, they're not going to slide to the front of the thing and get out of your reach when you're doing a smaller shop. We've got a couple of curry hooks built in here and here. Nissan first put those in Sunny, I think it was. Let us know in the comments if I'm wrong there. But under here, yeah, we've got loads of space. And in fact, actually, it goes down again. And we've got more storage down here where you can put cables and that's your breakdown kit and so on. And actually, that's also where you'll find this. See what that is later. So the interior of the Nissan LEAF, I think, is a real triumph. It feels really spacious. I love this massive, huge screen we've got in front of us. I love the way that the dashboard curves out of the way on the horizon line. We've got a heads-up display on this top spec model as well. I really like the seats. I like the fact that they've come with light coloured interior as well as an option. 60% of the interior is made from recycled materials and the seat's no different. So we've actually got all this material isn't leather. It's a man-made product, but it's recyclable. So that's good. And it's made from recycled products in itself. And I think that feels really nice. I really like the fact that it's a light coloured option. It's got this sort of blue contrast finish at the ends as well. We've got a slot here for you to put your mobile phone in, or we've got a wireless phone charger just here as well. Deep armrest bin under there as well. So recently I got the chance to go down to the Nissan Technical Centre and I saw them test all these cup holders and make sure that they fit not only with a water bottle, but they will fit with every takeaway drinks cup that's currently on the market. You know, so McDonald's, Costa, Starbucks, all that sort of stuff. They'll also tried it with Yeti cups, Stanley cups, all those big oversized, you know, 1.5 litre jugs that people walk around with nowadays. They've tested with all of these and make sure that it fits and it clears the dashboard here, so you won't have any problem at all getting your drinks in here. We've got a steering wheel which adjusts for rake and also for reach, which is nice, and we've got these displays which are just a level above really what we've seen previously in other Nissan products. This is now a Google operating system built in, so this is all just so slick and quick and easy to use, and the mapping system that's built in here as well is Google Maps. And if you want to plot a route, let's say we want to go, we're currently in Battersea in London, let's load up to go to Chorley Group in Chorley, and it estimates your battery level on arrival, and this car's currently at 90%. It says we'll have 13% left when we get to Chorley, which...
Chorley Group, Chorley Nissan may be closed by the time you arrive.
Fair enough, it'll be closed by the time we get there.
Northwest on Patcham Terrace towards Battersea Park Road, A3205.
What's kind of cool as well, on this top spec model, we've got a Bose sound system. We've got speakers in the headrest up here. They actually play through the directions just to the driver. This display, much better, and the mapping system tracks through to here, so we've got an actual map here as well. We've got loads of physical buttons on here. I think this looks really nice. It's two-spoke design. It's not got loads of shiny black plastic around, which, you know, piano black can show fingerprints and stuff. This hasn't got loads of piano black all around the interior. It's got this sort of squidgy sort of blue leather effect up here. We've got this textured, almost like what you'd find in a hotel reception furniture sort of fabric, I think. We've got haptic buttons running along here as well. So we've got physical buttons for things like the climate control and so on, and heated seats with 3-stage level changing there. We've got an actual manual volume switch if you so wish to, although of course there is buttons on the steering wheel for that as well. I just like the way that this car is laid out. I think it feels really spacious and really nice, and it feels premium. In fact, on this top spec we've even got massage seats. Nissan has fitted the new Leaf with these flappy paddles which give you adjustable levels of regen, so you can make it lighter or stronger, a bit like we've seen in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 for example. And that flappy paddle, that actually means that when you're coming down to a corner, you can actually make the braking effect stronger. It's a bit like changing down gears in your car. So again, the fact that it's on a flappy paddle kind of feels like that. We've got an e-pedal switch. Now e-pedal is like the one pedal driving mode that Nissan has. Now it's been changed slightly for the new Nissan Leaf in that it's e-pedal step, the same as we've seen in the Qashqai e-Power and the X-Trail e-Power. So e-pedal step is where basically it won't bring you to complete stop. It wants you to still do the final stop, but it basically brings you down to like a walking pace or slower just by taking your foot off the accelerator, if you so wish. We've got 2 USB-C ports here. There's also 2 USB-C ports in the back for the rear passengers as well. Also got wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay as standard. Heated steering wheel on this as well. Oh, and there's a button you can press which saves your favourite settings for your safety kit. Ambient lighting, we can choose a selection of different colours for the interior. You can change the brightness of them as well. It's got the Nissan thing we've seen before where it's got the 360-degree cameras. This is now in a 3D view, so we can actually look from different angles around the car. And we've got this big long panoramic roof which goes front to back, and that actually, because it's a fixed panoramic roof without a sliding blind, gives you plenty of headroom. It doesn't encroach in the headroom particularly. But the blind, it has a blind, but it's not a slidey one. Instead it's an LCD. We just press this button and the roof closes up with liquid crystal panel displays. When it gets halfway, you see the Nissan LEAF text written, which if it's a sunny day will cast a shadow down onto your rear passenger's seat, and you'll see LEAF written out there. We keep it going, and you can close off the back section as well. Or if you press it again, you can have it so the front section's open and the back section's closed. So if you've got little kids in the back and you don't want them getting the glare from the sun through the top, if they're asleep in a car seat, that's a brilliant feature. Loving it. This is a really nice product, and it's really good to see it being built in the UK as well. It's clear that Nissan has made this a much more premium product than its predecessor. However, what's it going to cost? Well, we expect pricing to be announced in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, we're sort of thinking it's going to start around where the Micra finishes. The Micra is now priced up to about £27,000. The Aria starts at £35,000. So somewhere in that window is where I see the Leaf being priced. If you want to know the pricing, click subscribe and you'll get to see that pricing as soon as it goes live in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, let's take a look in the back. So what's life like for the rear passengers in the Nissan Leaf? Well, I think they'll be quite comfortable. I'm 5'11", the driver's seat has been set for me, and in the back here I've got a good few inches of legroom here. Plenty of knee space. My feet do fit under the seat in front. It's got a flat floor through, which is nice to see. 2 USB-C ports down here. We've also got some air vents in the centre console there, which can blow air into the rear passengers. Nice. We've got Isofix in both the outer seats here. If I sit right back, actually, I've still got an inch or two of headroom. So I think it's actually pretty good for rear passengers, and certainly no worse than the previous outgoing Leaf. I think anything could be a bit better. Big door pockets. My little 500ml bottle's getting lost there. But if we don't have a middle seat passenger, we can fold down an armrest, and we've got 2 cup holders there as well, which is useful. For 4 adults, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Storage pockets on the back of the front seats. It's nice, you feel spacious, and actually with this pan roof up here, you know, again, it just gives a nice airy feeling with this light interior as well. You know, it doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. It feels really good. The Nissan logo glows on the new Leaf. They wanted to do this on the Aria, but the European regulations wouldn't allow them to do it. It's now been updated, so we've got this gorgeous glowing Nissan emblem on the front, which I think looks really lovely. When you walk towards the car, it automatically unlocks, and we get this cool animation feature as the lights sort of do this little dance across the front. So under the charge flap here, we've got 11 kilowatt AC charging, we've got up to 160 kilowatt DC charging. It also comes with this adapter, which is a vehicle load adapter. Plug that in, and you've got access to a domestic socket here. That will give you up to 3.6 kilowatts, so 16 amps maximum output. It's also compatible with vehicle to grid technology as well, so you can actually use the car as a battery pack to sort of supply your house with power at peak times. This car's got Google built in. It also has YouTube, and you've got even access to the Play Store, so you can choose all sorts of apps. So if you want to watch a video or play a game whilst you're sat charging, you can do. Keeps the kids occupied, keeps you occupied, or you could do some work, I suppose. The Nissan Leaf is available with 2 battery sizes. The standard range battery is 52 kilowatt hours. That'll get up to 270 miles of range. And that's got 110 kilowatt DC CCS rapid charging. It's also got a 0 to 60 time of around 8.6 seconds. If you go for the long range, extended range battery, that's 75 kilowatt hours. That'll do up to 375 miles of range. It'll charge up to 160 kilowatts on CCS, which means that it takes about the same time, 28 minutes, to get from 10 to 80% range. And it's a second faster to 60, so it's 7.6 seconds. Now, I've had a short drive in this car on the UK roads, and I say I was actually very impressed indeed. It's a front-wheel drive car, but it drives great. The handling's good, the performance, in sport mode particularly, really took my breath away. I think that this is going to really turn some heads when it hits the UK roads early next year. We'll get a full driving review done then, as soon as the demonstrators arrive, but for now, just take this as a miles guarantee. This car actually drives brilliantly. I hope you enjoyed this exclusive first look we've had around the new Nissan Leaf. Thank you very much to Nissan for letting us come down and see it. If you let us know in the comments below what you think. Are you surprised it's actually a smaller hatchback? It looks like a big SUV on photos, but actually it's no bigger than the original Nissan Leaf. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Click the like button, it really helps us out. And click up here to subscribe to our channel. The good thing about that is you'll see our latest content as soon as it goes live. Click up here to see more information about the Nissan Leaf on the Chorley Group website. Click down here to see the technical information video we did about the first launch of the Nissan Leaf. It's got all those details there. Click down here to see the video review of the new Nissan Micra. We're filming it in this exact same studio next.